Warned of this for years, that first governments throughout history get rid of the country's liberties and freedoms by going after an unpopular minority group. Hitler, it was the Jews, communists, stuff like that. Here, it was the Muslims. The system stages the events, provocateurs, nutcases. It's a whole grab bag of different types of provocateur terror. Then they build the architecture of the police state for the general public. So they have white audiences where they say, we're going after the brown people. Then they go to the brown audiences and they say, we're going after the white people. And that's what this nearly 10-minute Department of Homeland Security video does. Do you know about Operation Mockingbird here in the United States? I mean, we're in deep, 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 deep trouble. And so they branded the war on terror with, we're taking the rights away, but we're only going to enforce it on the evil Muslims, in quotes. Now it's, oh my gosh, the white al-Qaeda. And in every one of the scenarios, except one in a 10-minute video, it's, quote, minorities, Asians, blacks, Hispanics, reporting on the evil whites. And it just goes on and on and on. But this strange reversal must have been deliberate on the part of the DHS. But why? Is this merely political correctness taken to an extreme, or is it something deeper at work? And then he goes with the proof that it's absolutely what's been going on behind the scenes. So they're now shifting it onto the American people. DHS checkpoints, Homeland Security, TSA running wild. This is the total takeover. And it's meant to make all of us not trust each other and divide and conquer and only trust the nanny state. Don't trust other Walmart shoppers. The telescreens say only trust Big Sis, who, of course, helped get the underwear bomber on the plane on record and who helped ship the guns into Mexico. As Ohio University John Mueller has documented, the likelihood of actually being a victim of terrorism is infinitesimally small and only highlights how much threats are hyperbolically exaggerated for political purposes. Figures collected by Mueller clearly show that Americans are just as likely to be killed by lightning strikes, accidents, by running into deer, or severe allergic reactions to peanuts. But the facts don't matter for a federal agency whose primary function is to manufacture fear, as former head of Homeland Security Governor Rich admitted he was ordered to do. See, we have all the facts here. To keep Americans under control and submissive to the fact that their economic futures and their constitutional rights are being torn to shreds by their own government, while it points to a contrived outside threat as a convenient distraction. No matter where you look, from East Germany to Communist Russia to Nazi Germany, historically governments who encourage their own citizens to report on each other do so not out of a genuine safety concerns or presume benefits to security, but in order to create an authoritarian police state that coerces the people into policing each other's behavior and thoughts, and to create a big chilling effect as well. I better not speak out about freedom. You know, my neighbor will call Homeland Security on me. Well, let them. They're the terrorists anyways. Let's just get it out in the open. We all know you blew up the towers, you murdering military-industrial complex, banker-owned scum. As Robert Gelante of Florida State University has highlighted, Germans under Hitler denounced their neighbors and friends not because they genuinely believed them to be a security threat, but because they expected to selfishly benefit from doing so, both financially and socially and psychologically, via a Pavlovian need to be rewarded by their masters for their obedience. We're here critiquing this taxpayer-paid-for propaganda. We have the video posted up at Infowars.com in our articles. Let's continue. You got the black guy calling in the evil white people, and then it cuts to a bunch of shots of news articles of white terrorists in every case, mentally ill provocateurs, or purely staged government ops like McVeigh. It has animated blue eyes shining. Oh my gosh, the white devil's going to get you. To point this out, you've got one of the federal and local top police analysts predicting future terror threats, Mr. Farrell, over in England, when he found out it was the government behind 7/7, and he said the new threat, and he brought up that other cases of where it was admitted where the British government had staged terror, they fired him. So, see, all they want is little dumbed-down control freaks. I've tried on air to call Homeland Security to report terror over and over again, and the numbers don't work or nobody answers. It's all fake. It's all fake. They use the NSA to spy on people, so in case you find out the government's about to stage a terror attack, or a corporation is, to get naked body scanners in, or whatever the case is, so they can use NSA spying to make sure police don't get alerted and that they can go forward with the bombing. Of course, the feds have been caught over and over again in some DMVs handing out 20, 30,000 fake IDs to illegals. I mean, every crime they're talking about here is the feds. They are the drug-dealing, murdering scumbags that work for foreign banks. They're getting ready to blow more stuff up. Now, you know where I'm a little freaked out, know the government's evil, was going to stage terror attacks before 9/11. Because in all their RAND Corporation public documents, they said they would use terror to destroy the Republic, to destroy our freedoms, to destroy the Bill of Rights and Constitution. And they are now pell-mell hyping 24/7 that the terrorists are about to hit everywhere. Get ready. Yeah, they're going to hit right when the banks are robbing everybody, so you'll still put your flag outside and go grovel to government and tattle on your neighbors. I want to say this again, and I'm going to your calls. They are priming everybody for domestic soft terror attacks all over the country. And they're going to hop up, drug-head white people, blacks, Muslims, you name it, claim they're linked up together. In some cases, they'll have contractors kill people. They'll shoot a patsy in the head, like Harrison Kleinbold, and say that's what happened. They're getting ready. You wonder how the government's going to get its banking raping through, how it's going to get its police state through, how they're going to get the 9% approval rating for Congress up. Look at all the Democratic operatives that have written memos to Obama saying you need a 9/11 or Oklahoma City. That will help you. I'm telling you, they're getting ready, and they're getting ready to unleash white al-Qaeda. It'll be as phony as a $3 bill, but they don't care. Only exposing the terror attacks and taking that tool away from them is going to defeat them. And they're hopping mad, people now. Every time there's a new terror attack, look around and watch. And see what's happening. Our listeners caught the underwear bomber being brought on the plane by the U.S. government. And it came out to be true a month and a half later. So we're watching you, murderers. The real patriots are watching and listening. And they know who to watch. They know who to watch. Private contractors. They know who to watch. The FBI. We know who to watch. The Foreign Intelligence Services. Mossad. MI6. We know who to watch. We're watching you. Don't you worry. You want to get us watching each other? We're watching you, and you don't like that, do you? You don't want people discussing that government staged terror throughout history. Your little treat, your little jig is up, murderers. Because a lot of us don't care what you do to us. We're totally committed because we know you're murderers. And we know there's no future if we don't stop you murdering, control freak, eugenics, filth. It is hilarious if it wasn't so dangerous. I mean, they're getting ready. I mean, they're not saying TSA is going to be on the streets for nothing. They're going to start blowing stuff up and then saying we're allowed to be anywhere and stick our hands down your pants anywhere. And they're announcing they're going to start groping genitals at malls, on the sides of highways, taking blood under federal grants without warrants. They want in your person. They want to touch you without warrants. They want in your life. Well, no, you're right. We had so much liberty that we became decadent and slovenly. And now a lot of spoiled, rotten Americans have got a rude awakening coming, and it's going to be staged terror along with financial terror because they're going to want to make you rally around the terrorist who will claim they're protecting you. So I'm telling you, you can see all the pre-scripting, just like we saw before 9/11. They're getting ready to pull the trigger, and it is going to be hellish. But, folks, I'm not just saying this for theatrics. The bankers have gang raped us financially. They're imploding the country by design. And they've set up an architecture of police state against the American people built around terror. And they have to provide that terror, as Governor Ridge admitted, to get you to politically rally around them. So they're getting ready, okay? They're getting ready to stage terror attacks and blame it on the American people. No, they're getting ready. We are the terrorists, okay? I mean, in all the internal manuals, it is the veterans, the gun owners, and it's the veterans and the gun owners going, get them Arabs, take their rights away, not knowing the whole thing's always been for them. And then I see these conservatives go, well, it's Obama doing this now. No. Obama, Bush, they read off teleprompters. They don't run jack. This is a long-term strategic Pentagon, RAND Corporation, full-spectrum dominance takeover. I should watch more mainline TV because I always get energized because we watch very little TV. Sometimes late at night we'll turn something on, and it's just all, if you don't trust the government, if you love freedom, you're murdering children in your basement, you're planning to buy a weapon in New York, and it's like every show I turn on. And you've got these arrested development, childlike people watching it who really believe this is real, who really believe Obama launched peace in Libya, who really believe he can do whatever he wants without Congress, who really believe George W. Bush found WMDs in Iraq. You know, 54% in major polls of American conservatives believe WMDs were found in Iraq, even though it's admitted they weren't. Though I've predicted for years they're going to roll them out later like bin Laden. I know how they work. I know how they work. And why am I risking my life to bring you this information? Because there's no future for anybody if these people win. Do you understand? These aren't some boss hog tyrants that just want to rob stuff. These are eugenicists. Their religion is the state is God. Their religion is set up world government, cut off resources, and end the family as it's known. I'm resisting them. I'm all in, totally committed. People say, don't you have bodyguards? Don't you worry when you walk around at night? No, I don't worry about none of it. Whatever, it's in God's hands. I'm fighting total murdering scum who staged 9/11. You think I'm going to just sit here and cower because they're killers? If you don't admit that government sponsoring terror and that our government isn't our government anymore has been taken over, America will die. Liberty worldwide will die. They are going to use staged terror to destroy every basic freedom. And the veterans are going to get you, the conservatives, the libertarians, the gun owners, the farmers. We got to arrest them. Marines training to mow down. Farmers, I've been to the drills. Children training to go in their parents' houses and get their guns. We've got the footage of the drills and it being admitted. Marines coming up with guns in Maryland saying, turn your cameras off. It's all confirmed. A giant secret buildup bigger than the Cold War against the American people. And the government is run by criminals. They're going to stage terror attacks to get it done. And every sitcom, drama, cop show I watch, randomly, you turn it on, there's a guy going, there's chemtrails, they're spraying, they're weather modifying. And then he goes down to a dungeon with little kids he's torturing. The message is, you're into chemtrails, you're torturing kids. Next episode, there's a guy who's worried about vaccines killing people. He plans to release a bioweapon in New York. He's warning you about a bioweapon in the vaccines where governments have been caught over and over again. He's the one that's going to do it. And yes, they've had nationwide training for 3 years. Cops everywhere hearing this and going, how does he know it? Because I get all the documents from cops that aren't idiots. And they're training them. Veterans will attack your police station. Every place in the country will be attacked with improvised explosive devices. And I asked Janice, she was talking about the show Homeland. I haven't seen it. I've seen the trailer. And I said, let me guess, the veterans they're tracking are going to have IEDs to kill cops. And she says, yes, that's the episode. I already know. I know the script. They're teaching everyone that if you're not an idiot and you own guns, you're the enemy. Because the foreign banks are going to gang rape America. And they're not going to let scumbag armed Americans that know they're the enemy get in their way. Okay? Now, you can wake up to this or you can't. If you don't wake up, they're going to have their way with you. Now it's, oh my gosh, the white Al-Qaeda.